Hello everybody and welcome back to the NPC Dungeon. Today, as promised, I'm going to be covering something that I've already discussed on this channel before, but that I think is about time for an update. My video on adventure hooks was the first I ever made. It was about 20 minutes long, the audio quality wasn't great, and there really was no video. I'll leave a link in the card to it if you like, but like I said, be aware that it might not be very great. That's one of the reasons why I decided to remake it. I used to ramble a lot, and I've gotten a lot better at stating my ideas much more concisely, and I've also learned a lot since then, so I have a few more ideas about adventure hooks. But because that old video was just so long and I'm adding even more to it, I'm going to go ahead and split this topic up into two videos. Today's is going to have what ended up being 6 points, but I'm really going over two major themes. I have 3 major themes planned out for my next video, the continuation of this topic, but we'll see how many points that ends up blossoming into. And with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started and let's learn something. So, the idea of an adventure hook seems pretty simple on the outset. You're just introducing a quest, right? Like I said in my original video, there probably won't be a lot of combat or skill checks or anything like that, so why worry about it? Well, my first point cuts right to the heart of why you might want to worry about it. See, the intro to any quest sort of acts like a preview of what's to come. Make sure that your adventure hook does this accurately. You don't want your players going into a quest expecting a dungeon crawl and getting political intrigue instead. And in order to do this, I like to be as clear and as concise as possible. If you have an NPC giving the quest, don't just leave it vague. Be as precise as the NPC possibly can be. Make sure that your players know what they're doing, where they're going, who they're going to see, what they're stealing, whatever. I like to write up a little script for the quest-giving NPC if possible. Now, obviously, this probably won't be something that you'll end up following exactly, so be ready to improvise and answer questions as the need arises. And if there isn't a quest-giving NPC per se, your players will probably either be going on this quest either because it was suggested to them by an NPC, which can be handled in pretty much the same way, or because they had some motivation to do so. Maybe an NPC got kidnapped and they want to rescue them. You have to be even more careful in these types of scenarios. As they investigate and begin to get a good idea of what the quest is, how they're going to get there, where they're going, make sure they figure out, at least to some extent, what to expect. For example, is it a simple dungeon crawl with the NPC being held in a cave or something? Make sure that your players get that impression. Is the quest going to take them to a heavily guarded prison where they have to tactically infiltrate? Make sure they understand that. Or are they going to have to negotiate for the NPC's freedom? Signal to your players that that will be the case. Adventure hooks should also get your players interested and invested in whatever you have in store for them. In D&D and really in any tabletop RPG, you want your players to be pushing the story forward and getting involved in the events. You want them to be active agents and not just experiencing the story, but also writing it, so that without them, it would not have turned out the same way, or really even existed at all. And getting them on board with and invested in this quest is, at least in part, on you. For example, if an NPC sent them on a quest, you want your players to want to go on the quest, not just be impassive to it. In short, you want them to care about it. And I have a few tricks that I like to use for this purpose. One is to use player backstory. For example, if you have a player who, as part of their backstory, has friends in a certain area, they may be more likely to want to go there if a quest requires it. If they have a grudge against a certain NPC from their backstory, they might be more likely to do a quest that involves attacking that NPC. The point is that characters grow and change, and players will probably be more interested in a quest if you are able to find a way to tie their backstory into it somehow. And honestly, trying to find a way to creatively intertwine a backstory with the quest is one of the more fun parts about DMing, I think. It also helps you to put your players in situations where the characters have to come to grips with their past and their flaws, and really helps you create scenarios where this character growth can occur and be more natural. Another trick that I like to use to keep my players invested is to use the past. Character motivation isn't just written exclusively into the backstory. Players react to events and encounters that happen in the world, and these reactions help them to better define their motivations. Pay attention to when these things happen, make a note, and use it to your advantage. Do the players get attached to a certain NPC? They might get kidnapped later or end up evil in some way. Is there a certain item they need? Well, maybe it gets stolen. The possibilities are endless. And the possibilities also depend on the specific quest or adventure that you are planning. Use the world and use the events happening within it. Adventures don't happen in a vacuum. Is the quest-giving NPC being manipulated by some kind of sorcerer's magic? How will that affect the quest? Remember, adventure hooks can also act as bridges between quest lines, allowing them to flow from one and into the next. For example, I ran an adventure hook recently where my players were completing a quest in a ball. It ended with them pretty much getting arrested, but instead of them going to jail, a local crime boss collected them and basically tried to blackmail them into doing a quest for her. And that's what I'm going to call this video. Like I said, the original video these points came from was about 20 minutes long, so to avoid repeating that, we're going to end it right there. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked the video, feel free to leave a like. If you really liked it, feel free to subscribe, and comment down below if you have any feedback, think I missed something, or just want to say hi. I try to respond as often as I can. Come back next week where I'll be continuing this video about adventure hooks. Feel free to watch 2 of the videos that will be appearing on your screen right about now. Again, again, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you liked and enjoyed the video, and until next time, let's learn something.